Breaking news, we have new details today about what an Israeli response to Iran could look like. U.S. officials expect Israel to target military and energy infrastructure, avoiding any nuclear facilities. This after President Biden and Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu spoke for the first time in weeks. Joining me now, retired Admiral James Stavridis, former Supreme Allied Commander of NATO, MSNBC Chief International Analyst, and author of the new book, The Restless Wave, a novel of the United States Navy. Admiral, congratulations on that, my friend, and I will ask you a question in just a moment. But meantime, the White House characterized this talk as direct and productive. Is there concern the Biden administration may be left in the dark again on a response? I mean, is there anything the president could have said to Netanyahu to reel in potential retaliation?
I think very little, frankly. The personal relationship between Benjamin Netanyahu and Joe Biden is pretty clearly broken. That's a tactical problem of the moment between the U.S. and Israel. Strategically, the linkages are very strong, and I know personally that our Secretary of Defense, former General Lloyd Austin, good friend, contemporary, has a very strong working relationship with his counterpart, Minister of Defense Yoav Gallant. So no, the United States does not have a great deal of influence to bring to bear here. But final thought, it is good to hear, let's hope it stays this way, that the target sets will not include the nuclear facilities. That's probably a bridge too far, highly escalatory. Let's hope it comes out the way it was just advertised.
So we have gotten reports from diplomats in the region that Iran warned the U.S. allies that they're against allowing the U.S. or Israel to use their airspace or military facilities. Could there be anxiety from the Iranian perspective on the size of Israel's next action? Could they be trying to delay, maybe negotiate this response through back channels?
Yeah, in simplest terms, they're scared, and they ought to be. Watching the last couple of months of unbroken chain of successes militarily by the Israelis, to include, I think, most frightening to the Iranian high command, a series of targeted assassinations, very significant cyber attacks that don't get a huge amount of publicity. And I think the Israelis are going to come in with a pretty good-sized strike, probably against the military-industrial complex, take out those ballistic missile production facilities, the maintenance, go after the command and control, knock down the air defense. I think it'll be a significant strike. I think it'll happen within 3 days.
You mentioned the breakdown of the relationship between Biden and Netanyahu, and in fact, journalist Bob Woodward details in his new book, War, that President Biden's frustration with Benjamin Netanyahu earlier this year caused him to quote Biden, rather to call him a liar and a bad guy. And he used pretty colorful language doing so. The White House has not commented on the alleged outbursts, but do you expect Biden is going to face more frustration with Netanyahu before the next presidential inauguration, January 20th?
Yes, I do. And this campaign that Israel has launched up north against Hezbollah will cause friction. The delays in getting to a ceasefire in Gaza, which I think it's clearly time to be doing that, that'll cause frustration. Let's see where the Israeli strikes land, Alex, literally and figuratively. And that'll be a pretty good measure of further frustration between the two. But I want to underline again something I said a moment ago. Strategically, U.S. and Israel are going to remain aligned, and watch for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia over the next few months, the next year or so, particularly once a ceasefire is attained in Gaza. Watch for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to align itself more closely with the U.S. and Israel. That's the big strategic move that's coming.
We will definitely keep an eye for that and have you on the show when that happens and analyze it for us. Let me ask you quickly about Bob Woodward's book, because it also reports that Donald Trump not only sent Russian President Vladimir Putin COVID tests and machines during the pandemic, but they have spoken as many as 7 times since he left the White House. Both the Kremlin and Trump's campaign spokesperson Brian Chung vehemently deny calls happened, with Chung saying Woodward completely made them up, though, by the way, no threat of lawsuit so far. Does any of this pose a potential national security risk, Admiral, either to the election or the direction into which the U.S. heads after November 5th?
Oh, it absolutely is a national security risk. And in terms of the veracity of what's in Bob Woodward's book, look, he's a Pulitzer Prize winning, highly esteemed professional journalist. He broke Watergate. I, for one, think he is far more likely to be on the side of truth than those who claim his reports are fictitious. What I foresee and worry about here, if it's true that there were multiple contacts between presidential candidate Trump and President Putin, what a missed opportunity for U.S. intelligence. Obviously, Trump has not been debriefing if it's all true. And then secondly, Alex, you just have to worry about the influence a trained KGB spy master like Putin can exert over someone like Donald Trump.
Okay, Admiral, I want to apologize. I'm out of time. Will you please come back and talk with us about your book? I'm so excited to talk with you about it. So we're going to do that. We'll just look forward to seeing you again. It is The Restless Wave, though. We will promote it. Thank you, Admiral. Good to see you.